Hello everybody. I have two Zowie mice on my desk today. So I actually got a comment the other day where somebody was asking, I have the EC2B, should I upgrade to the EC3C? And I thought that was a really interesting comment, and I actually kind of wanted to make a video in response to it. Because I think the question of if you should upgrade your Zowie mouse is one that really needs to be answered, right? So I think, first off, I want to make sure that people understand that what I'm talking about in this video is between upgrading to the C series, right? If you want to go from the EC2 to the EC3, that is a very easy decision, right? If you are interested in a smaller mouse, right, if you look at these two side by side, this one's just a teeny bit longer. Otherwise, they're the same grip width. It's just a matter of if you want that length, right? They feel very similar in the hand. Obviously, this one feels a teeny bit bigger, but the grip width is very similar, and this one just feels a little bit smaller. The shape is basically, sorry about that. The shape is basically the same. It's just this one is a teeny bit smaller, right? So if you were interested in a smaller mouse, sure, 100% try out the EC3. However, that is not the question I'll be answering today, because I think that that's a really easy question to answer, and that's also not a question I can answer, right? That's a question that you answer. If you, the viewer at home, picks up your EC2 and goes, you know what, I think I want to try a smaller mouse, then maybe you should try the EC3. However, I think the question of whether or not people should be upgrading their B series mice to the C series is a question I can help answer, right? So, when Zowie announced the C series, there were a few changes that they highlighted, right? Better cable, better scroll wheel, lower weight. And I'm going to go in kind of a reverse order. So I'm going to start with the weight. I believe the EC2C, when it comes out, is going to be 75 grams versus a little over 90 for the EC2B, okay? This is objectively a better change. Unless you're one of the, probably 10% of the mouse community that legitimately prefers a heavier mouse, a 15 gram weight reduction is going to be an upside. This is just entirely non-debatable. It's going to be an upgrade. 15 grams alone is not worth spending another $70. However, I think that in addition, I mean, we'll get to it all together. However, a 15 gram difference is very noticeable, and picking up these two mice, this one does feel significantly lighter. And the EC2 feels heavy by comparison. So I think the 15 gram weight difference is very big and very important. Next, the scroll wheel. This is more and more important based on how you use your Zowie mice. If you have an EC2, and it is the only mouse that you use to interface with your computer, this scroll wheel is going to be a massive upgrade. It's more tactile, there's more steps, it's smoother, it's quieter. It's just across the board a better scroll wheel. However, if you only really use your PC for gaming, or you're an absolute Yada Chad and you have a 2-mouse setup, this change isn't going to be as big. No matter what, it's an upgrade, and this is, again, a very objective upgrade, because it's still a very tactile scroll wheel, like that Zowie scroll wheel. So if you like the tactility of the Zowie scroll wheel, you're still going to love the new scroll wheel. So it is an objective upgrade, and I think that everyone is going to like it. You're just going to like it more depending on how you use your Zowie mouse. So right now we have this one, objectively better in 2 ways. Next, we're going to get to the cable. So obviously I have my EC2 paracorded, and if you watch the video I put out a few days ago talking about the EC3 and how I love this cable so much, you're going to know that I like this cable. You're also going to know that I don't plan on paracording this mouse because the cable is so incredibly decent. I've paracorded every Zowie mouse I own because they're, up until the C series, their cables were so incredibly terrible. They were stiff, thick, rubbery, they came creased, you couldn't uncrease them, they were heavy. This cable difference is a massive upgrade. It is, I cannot stress to you how much of a game changer the cable is. If they only changed the cable, Zowie mice would still be at least like 2 times better. This cable is such a giant upgrade over the old cable. It's not quite objective because some people are weirdos and like stiff rubber cables. However, if you are not a fucking weirdo, this cable is just an incredible upgrade. This cable is just strictly better in every single way. Finally, I want to get into some miscellaneous stuff like buttons, and build quality and coding. Coding is very similar. However, keep in mind, I'm comparing the EC2B with the Big Feet, which is a mouse that has been in production for the last like year or so, and the EC3C. So I'm not comparing a 5-year-old EC2 or an EC2B with the 4 small feet. If you have one of those, the coding is going to be much worse, and this coding is going to be a big upgrade. But if you have purchased a Zowie mouse within the last 2 years, the coding is going to be pretty decent, and it's either going to be the same or very comparable, and the coding will not be a big upgrade. Button-wise, I think the left and right click are much crispier on the C series, but they're a little bit deeper in noise, but they're just as loud, and they're just as tactile. The side buttons, I think in theory, are better on the EC3C, because there is very little pre or post travel, and they're very tactile. However, my specific copy does have weird side button issues. Zowie's contacted me; they're sending me out a copy to fix that. However, if you look at look at how much, look at how far in that goes. And this is something that's true for all old EC series mice, right? This is something that's been known for years. The side button, the overall button upgrade is again very, very large. So overall, this mouse is better in literally every single way, and I want to make that clear. Like if money is no object, and you just want to get the best mouse with this shape, the C series of Zowie mice is strictly better in every way. However, I think you kind of have to weigh each little bit of the upgrade to decide whether or not it's worth it for you, right? Because I think it comes down to what your Zowie mouse looks like, which actually, before I get into that, if you're watching this video because you want to know whether or not you should buy this new series, yes, you should. Wait for the C series, buy the C series. However, now I'm going to talk about whether or not it is worth it to upgrade from your existing Zowie mouse to a C series. I think first it's going to come down to what your EC series or Zowie mouse looks like, right? If your Zowie mouse has custom feet, has a custom cable, spending $70 to get this mouse isn't going to be that big of a change. All of the things will still fit. Like, for instance, if I currently had an EC2B and wanted to get an EC3C, I could buy this and swap the cable over, right? However, then I'm getting the same cable experience, and sure, I'm still getting all the other things, but I think the cable is one of the biggest reasons to buy the mouse. So I think if you have a already paracorded mouse, it's not going to be a huge upgrade, because the cable is one of the to me, it is the most important part of the new mouse. I think that if you are using an FK, if you have a paracorded FK, suddenly multiple of the upgrades don't matter that much, because the weight isn't being decreased that much. The cable is not getting any better because your mouse is already paracorded, and the buttons aren't getting any better because the FK already has really great buttons. So I think it also depends on which series you're on. I think if you have a stock Zowie mouse, 100% worth it to upgrade. If you have a upgraded EC mouse, probably worth it to upgrade. If you have an upgraded FK, S, or ZA series, it's maybe worth it. And again, this also comes down to who you are, how comfortable you are with spending $70 on another mouse. But I think for the average person, if you own a stock Zowie mouse, probably worth it to upgrade. If you own an EC series mouse, no matter how modded it is, probably worth it to upgrade. However, if you're on a ZA, FK, or S series, I'm going to say it's probably not worth it to upgrade unless I get one of those in-house and the FK2C is just insane and is perfect. So I hope you guys like this video. I know I don't often make is it worth it type videos. However, I hope you guys enjoyed nonetheless, because I got a comment about this and I was really inspired and I want to make this video, and I know I haven't been making much content lately, so I wanted to make more. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe and all that, and I'll see you guys later.